We
Good
listen, we
morning,
don't
good
judge.
afternoon, good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that is so important in our relationships with others, whether in our families, workplace, churches, or communities. The topic is we listen, we don't judge. In a world full of criticisms where people are quick to condemn others, Jesus teaches us a different way, a way of love, compassion, and understanding. We are called not to judge, but to listen with open hearts. Most times people want to judge. Immediately you say something, they just jump right in and start judging you. That's not right. If you must judge rightly. That is why God is called the righteous judge, because first of all, he understands all the sides. If two people are in an argument or in an issue and it's brought forward to you, how do you judge? You want to hear the both sides. Because if you hear just one side and then you take your judgment from just one side, that's not right. That's not a good judgment. You've just corrupted your judgment, because you need to have the both sides. That is why it's important, that we listen with open hearts. Let's dive into the topic by exploring what it truly means. What it truly means. What it truly means to listen, and why judgment belongs to God alone. All right. Number one, what does it mean to listen? Listening is more than just hearing words. It's about understanding, caring, being present for others. The Bible tells us in James 1:19, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. This verse reminds us that before we respond or react, we must take time to truly listen. Too often we listen to reply rather than understand. Some are just quick to reply. Oh, I just need to reply him. You've not even understood what he or she is saying. You just jump right in. So too often we listen to reply rather than to understand. But Jesus calls us to a higher standard, one where listening becomes a tool of love and healing. One of the best gifts you can have in a man is to have a man that listens. Honestly, ladies, women, you can bear me witness. Any man that you have in your life and that man can listen to you, it makes a world of difference. That healing brings love, and what healing? That particular listening man, can heal your situation just by listening. That's why people, go for therapy, because the therapist there can just sit down on his chair or her chair and listen, as you go about your business. When we listen, we acknowledge someone's pain, struggles, and emotions. We show them that they matter. This is a powerful act of love. Is a powerful act of love. And then number two, why are we told not to judge? Listen well. It is human nature to judge others. We often look at people's mistakes, weaknesses, or lifestyle. That there are some people, you just immediately they start talking. You remember, maybe you don't like their guts, you don't like them for who they are, you just don't like them. So immediately they open their mouth to say anything. You really don't want to listen, and you start judging. You don't even allow them to finish. before you start judging, and that is so not right. So we judge people based on their mistakes, weaknesses, or lifestyle, and form opinions about them. Yeah, you shouldn't just like the way they dress. Why is he dressing like this? Okay, let's hear what he has to say. Immediately starts talking, because you just don't like the way he or she is. That's not right. But Jesus strongly warns against this in Matthew 7:1-2. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. When we judge others, we place ourselves in a position that belongs to God alone. Yeah, I've already said that. Only He knows the full story behind each person's life. Imagine that. Only He understands their struggles, their past, and their heart. Before you judge someone, listen. Take time to listen. Judging others does not make us righteous. I hope you know that. Okay, he's talking now, let me just jump right in and judge him. No, it doesn't make you righteous. It actually shows our own flaws. Instead, Jesus calls us to grace and mercy. Number 3, Jesus set the example of listening without judgment. You remember the story of the woman that was caught in adultery? Okay, let's go on. One of the most powerful examples of listening without judgment is found in John chapter 8, verse 3-11. You can go read it up. The story of the woman caught in adultery. The Pharisee brought a woman before Jesus, ready to stone her for her sin. They expected Jesus to condemn her. But what did He do? He listened. He didn't rush to condemn her. Instead, He bent down and wrote on the ground, giving time for reflection. Do we actually give time for reflection? I had the bishop say he bent down and was writing their sins. Very interesting. Yeah, very funny. He was writing their sins. Because all those people that caught that woman, where is the man? Oh, he must have jumped out through the window. You caught a woman in adultery. What of the man that is committed the adultery with? He's nowhere to be found. Okay, you brought the woman for Jesus to give the go-ahead to stone her. That's not right. That is jumping right in and judging, without listening. We listen, we don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. He challenged the accusers. He said, let one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. Imagine that. He showed mercy. When the accusers left, Jesus said, neither do I condemn you. Go now and live your life of sin. Leave. Go now and sin no more. So he didn't condemn, and he wasn't actually endorsing the sin. He said no. He said, go and sin no more. This, whatever issue you find yourself in, must have taught you a lesson. Those guys wanted to judge you and even sentence you to death, but I don't condemn you. So go and sin no more. That is Jesus for you, the righteous God. Jesus showed that mercy triumphed over judgment. He did not excuse sin. Note that He did not excuse sin, but He handled the situation with love, wisdom, and grace. Now, if you must judge, make sure you have love, wisdom, and grace. If you don't have it, forget it. Just listen and don't judge. He listened to her heart rather than condemning her for her past. Most times we look at people. Remember the thief on the cross, the one that went to paradise. If we get to heaven and we'll still say, oh, that's the thief. What? He's no longer the thief. He was forgiven. So let's not judge people based on their past, my brother. Let's not judge people based on their past. But if we must judge, the best way is We listen, we don't judge. But if we must judge,